Mr. Mayor. Joining us now, Levar Stoney, Secretary of the Commonwealth, right-hand man for the Maxter. Levar, good to have you, man.
Good morning, John, and good morning, Barry.
Good morning, sir. Good to see you the other night at the Caritas. It's great. I love your Facebook page. Everybody should go to your Facebook page. You have a great picture of you up at the White House yesterday or last night, so it's awesome to have you on the radio. But great to see you at Caritas the other night at the event. Thank you for taking the time. Yeah,
that was a great event. I wish I could have stayed longer, but I got to meet one of your employees over at Caritas at the event, and boy, you got a quality guy over there.
I do, and Mr. Secretary, I would love to talk about that. I don't know what John has on the agenda or what you have on the agenda, but Carlos Jackson is my newer employee, him and Aziz Scott, and we hired both of them out of the REAL program. I think the city of Richmond, you have a great police chief, you have a fire chief, you have a great sheriff, and you're right there in the hub, right there in Richmond. But they have the REAL program going on, and it is an incredible program. You've worked very hard for getting these folks the ability to vote. I am working on the other side of it, getting these gentlemen and ladies, when they get out of jail with light sentences, whether it's drug-related or whatever the case may be, getting them jobs, or at least getting them interviews to get a job, because that's going to make the difference of not putting them back in jail. So, I'd love to have some comments and dialogue with you about that and what we can do more with the governor and yourself, and how we can just help businesses at least interview some of these guys as candidates. Veterans are important to get jobs first, and then second, we got to get these folks jobs also.
Well, I'm in full agreement with you, Barry. I've visited the Richmond City Justice Center on multiple occasions, a part of the REAL program over there. I was there for the daughter-father dance that CNN had over there, and I got to meet Aziz and a couple other people while visiting. At the end of the day, whether what you're doing right there, giving them that opportunity, or what we're doing in the Secretary of the Commonwealth's office, and that is giving them the access to the franchise again, making them feel like they're whole citizens again, we're doing our parts in reducing the recidivism rate. Virginia has a recidivism rate of 23%, the second lowest in all of the country. However, we still disenfranchise nearly 400,000 individuals here in the Commonwealth of Virginia. People say, "Oh, we were just giving them their rights back." For us, we're restoring their dignity. And now they can go out in society, participate again. And you know what? When you give someone the right to vote back, the right to participate again, it is the opportunity for them that actually they will not go back into the justice system, and an opportunity to actually make themselves whole again. So that's been our focus. I appreciate people like you who are giving an opportunity, a second chance, for folks to actually get their foot in the door, get a job, and get the skills necessary to provide a roof over their heads, or their children's heads, and some food on the table.
You're right, and let's right to the chase. I mean, everybody will say, well, you're trying to get them their rights to vote back, so they vote, let's say, in this case, Democratic. But I will tell you, one of the greatest honors I had last year in my whole life was to run for state senate as a Republican. And, I had two men and one woman that did at least 5 years incarceration. And, three of them came to the dealership and said, "Barry, I'm going to vote for you. It's the first time I'm voting." And they voted Republican. So it's not what we think. It's not the stereotypical, they don't want handouts. They want a hand up. They want a job. They do have a hard time getting out of jail and making the monthly rent in the beginning. That's what I'm struggling with. They got to learn how to budget. As you learn at the father-daughter dance, some of these guys have been incarcerated for years, and they don't know how to be a dad. And we're teaching them. There's so many great things going on. C.T. Woody is incredible. Sarah Scarborough, incredible what they're accomplishing. Your support at the governor's mansion and everything of these folks. These are real human beings. And sometimes I think we do more with the animals at the ASPCA than we're doing with the human beings. And it's all important. I mean, it really is. And so, thank you.
And Barry, I think you would agree. For me, this is the most rewarding part of my job right here. This is what gets me out of bed. I'm a son of a guy who made a mistake years and years ago when he was a young man, and I saw him struggle, getting doors slammed in his face when when he was going in for interviews or putting an application in at different places. And now to actually be the Secretary of the Commonwealth and return that opportunity for other people, I mean, it's the most rewarding thing that I could ever, wish to have. And I will say this, those individuals, those 16,000 plus people that we've restored the rights to, they are the bravest, most courageous individuals I've ever met in all my years of public service. And I'm going to do everything I can to help them as long as I can in this office.
I think what most people don't realize also, until you get to know some of these folks, you go to the Healing Place in Richmond, we're dealing with addicts, addictions, and whether it's alcohol or drugs, I think that's where us as humans and us as employers and us as brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers have to understand the power of addiction, whether it's depression that puts us there, whether it's generational. C.T. Woody, the most disturbing thing he ever said that I listened to was he's got 3 generations, grandfathers, fathers, and grandchildren serving, right, in jail. And it's all drug-related, it seems. And it's just, they just need a way out. And so this drug rehab, these addictions are very important. These folks that I talked about, I did a course last year with the DEA and the legalization. I'm not going to get into legalization of marijuana and stuff, but we have got to be really cautious of what we think is okay. It's not. Our society, our leadership in America, we got some great minds, but we've got to have good minds. We cannot be stoned. We can't be out of our minds all the time and just be having fun. It's not a party. Life has got so much going on. We have children that are counting on us, which segments me into the adoption and foster care. If you could talk about that a little bit. I know Debbie Johnson's the chair. I can't think of what her title is. Champion for adoption for the state.
Yep, she's our adoption champion. Yep.
Yes, and she's a big fan of you and the governor, and I'm on her board of Connecting Hearts and adoption. It starts there, right? These children, foster care and adoption, right through to the jails, and we're watching it. So it's all important. And and people say to me, "Oh my God, Barry, you are a liberal. You are, I'm glad we didn't elect you. You're
bleeding heart."
Yeah, bleeding heart. And I look at him, I say,
"You're rhino."
Yeah, I don't even know what these terms meant. I ran as a business person that wanted to serve. So I laugh at him and say, why don't you just step back from these titles and let's just talk about some things that are real important and make a difference. So this adoption and foster care, you guys are doing, the governor and yourself, you're doing a lot of work. So if you can share some of that with some folks, but we got to get some people some homes quick.
Yep, you know what? I will say this, Barry. I appreciate you standing up and doing what you're doing. At the end of the day, public service, politics is about making a difference in people's lives. And I wish there were more business leaders like yourself who step up and actually give that opportunity to someone else who may not have ever had it if you didn't intervene in their lives. And so, number one, I want to let you know, Barry, I appreciate you. The adoption world, we got Debbie Johnson. She's great. She's our adoption champion. Last administration, Janet Kelly, my predecessor, this was her top priority in making sure that people get families and they get homes. And, the governor has made it a whole lot easier for people who are from LGBT couples to actually adopt here in Virginia, because everybody deserves a home. My mother was adopted, and that's how Debbie and I connected. She told me her story, and I told her my story. I was raised by my grandmother and my father, but my mother was an adopted child. And when we looked at who could actually lead this effort, Debbie Johnson was at the top of the list. Now more and more children here in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and here's the thing, they're not all babies and all toddlers. They're actually, they're all actually adolescence age, where they're actually getting these children into homes. And I think that's what matters. I mean, that is the difference that you can play in someone's life. And Debbie has been a champion. I imagine she's going to be a champion way beyond the 4 years we have here in office here for the Commonwealth of Virginia. She's just great.
I know you're taking a hard look at this race. Why do you want to be the mayor of Richmond?
John, as I tell everybody, it's no secret in all of Richmond, probably no secret in the Commonwealth of Virginia, that I'm taking a serious look at running for mayor of Richmond. I just believe that Richmonders are looking for a mayor who is going to be a fighter for opportunity. I think Richmonders are looking for a mayor who believes that Richmond can be a city of opportunity, not for just newcomers who are flooding into the great city of Richmond, but also for those individuals who've lived in the city for years and years, decades and decades, who are raising their family there. What they want is educational opportunity and economic opportunity. I think Richmond can go to the next level. I think it's the finest city in all of the Commonwealth of Virginia. I'm taking a serious look. But right now, as I tell everyone, I'm focused on being the best Secretary of the Commonwealth I can be. I think the people of Virginia, they've asked me to do a job. I'm going to do the best job I can, and I want to do it on behalf of the governor. So we got this General Assembly session currently, and that's what I'm focused on right now. And I'm sure there will be a lot of time to talk more and more about the mayor's race.
So it sounds like you're not a candidate for Congress in the new District 4, right?
4. No,
right.
Not a candidate for Congress. I know there's 2 candidates out there, and Donald McKeechin and I hear what Ella Ward down in Chesapeake. Both are fine representatives of the Democratic Party. I think the Democrats should win the 4th congressional district this time around after the lines have been rearranged a little bit. It's the right thing to do. I'm glad the courts have held it up, and looking for a spirited contest come this June.
Well, there is one other Democratic candidate that we want to mention, and that is Elliot Faust has gotten in the race. Elliot ran against Randy Forbes. He was the Democratic nominee in, 2014, so we don't want to slide him. But it certainly seems like a two-person race between Dr. Ward and we expect, obviously, Minority Senate Caucus leader Don McKeechin to get in the race when the General Assembly adjourns, and he will certainly be the prohibitive favorite going in. You know, one interesting thing, Levar, about that district, everybody has written it off for Republicans, saying it's not winnable. Randy Forbes, as you know, running in the 2nd district. But we analyzed some numbers with that, Levar, over the weekend. And let me ask you a rhetorical question. As a Republican, do you think that Ken Cuccinelli is one of the more electable candidates the Republicans have ever put up, or not?
Well, you mean as a Democrat? I mean, because I'm a Democrat.
As a Republican, right? I mean, you would admit that Ken Cuccinelli probably isn't one of the most electable Republicans that have ever run for office, right?
I would say this, John. Ken Cuccinelli, the former Attorney General, gave us a run for our money. I think in the 2013 race. He's a formidable opponent, and yes. I think it'll be the Republican choice, I guess, in a convention to choose who that person will be. I know Ed Gillespie's taking a look at it. I think Rob Whitman as well, the congressman from the 1st congressional district. It should be it'll be fun to watch from the sidelines. Let's just say
right,
that.
But politically, we could probably agree that Cuccinelli not the most electable Republican in the history of Virginia. Okay, well, he carried the new District 4. He carried that in 2009. So this thing is, a lot of people just have written it off and saying it's not winnable. You never know what's going to happen. And Cuccinelli carried it in 2009. Bob McDonnell carried it in 2009. So certainly for any Republican to retain that seat, it would be an uphill battle. But you can't take these things for granted because, Republicans, and one of them, not the most electable guy in the world, did carry the district. So we'll see. We'll have to see how that plays out. So when are you going to make your mind? I've only got 10 seconds, so I need a very quick answer. When are you going to make your mind up, Levar, in the mayor's race?
I'm going to get through the General Assembly session here. I guess the session ends, March 12th, March 10th.
Yep.
After I get through that, I will probably give it some further thought here a couple weeks after, and I'm sure you guys will be knocking on my door, calling my phone, finding out. I mean, come on.
Right,
you're pretty aggressive, John. That's why I like you.
Well, thank you, Levar. I got to take off. We're out of time.